Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, you know, there's just 191 days until Christmas 2021. And I did see Wookiee Talks. I saw your chat in here, but I think Matt's Lego Films beat you in. I see his hello in there. Just ahead of yours. I think you both hit it at the same time, and his just made it through through YouTube just a hair faster than you. Hello, Rowdy Hercules Racing. Welcome. Good to see you here. Spencer, hey. Gunsmoke. The Bad Batch is certainly the right time for the Inquisitors. You know what? I think it is the right time for Inquisitors, but they're coming in a little bit after. I don't think that they've set them up yet. We're in the Bad Batch right now, where we are about mid-season. It's still a little bit early to have Inquisitors, but they'll be coming soon. They should be coming very, very soon. Hey, we've got welcome. Greetings from Amsterdam. Thank you for joining, Sven. Good to see you here. And we have several friends from Europe who are with us on a regular day. Moff Gideon, hello. Good to see you here. We've got lots of folks coming in and saying hello. I do want to get right to this story. It's coming from, let me bring it up here for you. That hashtag show. So that hashtag show just dropped this exclusive. It's a show in development for Disney Plus. Now, you have to take what they are reporting as it comes. But here's what we have, and I'm just looking to see. I think let's see. I want to make sure we're not not making any getting any trouble. So the Inquisitors Show is in development for Disney Plus, and let's read it together. I watched the video, but let's enlarge it so you all can see it as well. It says. Last week, they talked about Dead Men. This week, they're bringing an update on Disney's upcoming Star Wars projects, including a new project focused on the Inquisitors. And it tells who the, oops, I don't want that. Go back. The Inquisitors talks about who they are and all that kind of thing. But then here's the meat of it. Dave Filoni, who has shepherded the Star Wars franchise, blah, 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 making a big push for the Inquisitors and future projects, making an appearance in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So we're going to see them, I think, first appear in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And you know, friends, we talked about some time ago when there was rumors of people coming into, actors cast, that one of them might be a Jedi. And remember, she posted in her social media. You guys have to tell me her name right off the bat. I kind of posted this up in a hurry and didn't look it up, but she said, I get to play with lightsabers. And so there was speculation at the time that maybe she would be an Inquisitor. She has the right body shape and all that to be an Inquisitor, athletic enough. But then I think we just saw recently in some of the set photos her as an Imperial. So I don't know if it's a different actress. If we might be getting that. But this is the first confirmation we have that we'll get an Inquisitor in the Obi-Wan series. That's very exciting. You would think that they would be searching for Obi-Wan, that Vader knows that his master is out there. I can feel him, or something of that nature. He was going to know, especially the high-profile ones that disappeared. So right after, he goes into Vader's suit, we get that scene at the end of Revenge of the Sith. And he had just had that battle with Obi-Wan, that he would be hot on the heels to go get Obi-Wan. And we've not seen that in live action. So we might be able to get that. And then right after, he'll be looking for Yoda as well. You guys know the story of the Inquisitors. So... So they'll make an appearance in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. That's the first part. Indira Varman. Indira Varman, I think she's the one who showed up in the outfit. And Moses Ingram, thank you so much, Gunsmoke. Moses Ingram was the lady who a lot of people were saying I think she's the one who posted on her social that she gets to play with lightsabers. That's an Inquisitor. That would be an Obi-Wan series, and that would be the deal. So I would expect that we're going to see that Moses Ingram will be an Inquisitor, and I see Ashton just joined in. You guys just joining in hot. We have a news story here released from that hashtag show. It's an exclusive to them, saying that we're getting an Inquisitors show here in Disney Plus. And we just got to this first quote that says they're making an appearance in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I think that'll be the very first appearance that we're going to get. And hello, Abby. Abby is the one who put this on our Discord very first to get us up on the story. Thank you so much, Abby. And so thank you for sharing that with us. We want to get this out here as soon as we could to all of you. So Obi-Wan series coming out. But that's not all. But wait, friends, that's not all. They're also exclusively sharing that they set up their own Disney Plus live action series. Oh my goodness, that's super exciting that we might be able to get the Inquisitors in a live action. So they set it up in Obi-Wan, introduce them, and then we have a spin-off show come out of Obi-Wan, because we know Obi-Wan was a limited series set up to be like 6 episodes, maybe 8 episodes, something like that. And for that, then they could spin off into this Inquisitors show and continue to use Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, and we could get some more Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader. And so that's the other part that could be part of this. And it's in here in this story. It says the project is in early development. So early development could mean it could never make it. They'll be guiding. They'll be watching the hype. They'll be looking to see, how many folks are talking about it. What's the news on it? So it's in early development, but will be a continuation from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, right? And it'll be appearances by Inquisitors in Obi-Wan series, Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars Rebels. Means it act as a backstory for many of the characters. And also introduce a new sister who reluctantly falls in line with the Inquisitors. Oh, who could that be? Let me know what you think. Who could the new sister who reluctantly falls in line with the Inquisitors possibly be? Think of a Jedi who gets turned. I know that there was a lot of news yesterday about a certain Jedi who turned, but I don't know that we would see her come in, right? I don't know that Barriss, right? I don't know that Barriss Offee. And there was a good point made by our friend Sheev the Wise. Sheev said, "How friendly do you think Anakin or Darth Vader would be towards Barriss Offee, who was the one who set up his Padawan Ahsoka to take the fall for her and to get thrown out of the Jedi Order, who caused all that havoc, and then left the Jedi Order subsequently as a direct result of what Barriss did." So I think it very well could be. And hello there. We've got another friend, Certified Gumbo. Thanks for jumping in to say hi. If you're available, I'll shoot you, Coop. I'll shoot you a link, and you can join us in the chat here as we get through this story and get your opinion. So let me know. Hit me up in Discord. Send me a link and say you're in, and I'll send you a link. So the new sister who reluctantly falls, and then although she sees the damage and destruction that causes second thoughts, the show is also a way to bring in lesser-known Jedi from canon into a live-action series. An example in the leaked outline document described the inclusion of Luminara Unduli. I think the last time, Coop, the crowd has spoken. You need to join. Let me get the link here so I can invite you to come in And once we get through this story, we'll get you to join in on the discussion. And let me find Coop here. Coop, where are you? Yeah. I've got you in my. Here you are. Right. So if you could join us, hit me up there. Good. Abby says. So Luminar Undoli. The last time we saw her, she was a little non-conversational. Let's put it that way, right? Luminar, she was quite dead. Quite dead. So yeah, we can see Luminara in there. Of course, that brings us right back to, if you get Luminara, that brings you right back to Barriss, right? Barriss is Jedi Master Luminara. So they're definitely diving into canon. Finally, what would be the Inquisitors without Darth Vader himself? Oh boy, this would be super exciting. Mike Porter, thank you for stopping in to say hi. Appreciate it, and hope your checkup goes well. That'll be great. I'm not ignoring you there, Russell. We'll get back to you. I'm just super excited. I see it. I can get through here. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Hey there, Star Wars Real Talk. Appreciate you joining again. So, Darth Vader himself says, after a positive experience on the set of Obi-Wan series, Hayden Christensen is being looked at to return as Darth Vader, although it sounds like he'll not have a huge role. Moving forward, so, I mean, who would the Inquisitors be if the Inquisitors didn't have Darth Vader? That's where Darth Vader comes from. So, yes, I know there, Russell. I know you're giving me a hard time. Of course. It's your job. It's your role. That's what we look for you for. Appreciate it. So moving forward, it's clear that Disney and Lucasfilm have huge plans for the Inquisitors. We can expect to see cool and exciting things to come. So I wanted to ask, what's your hype level? You can tell Santa's fairly excited. I'm pretty excited about this. I think it's some pretty big news, and it's going to help build out the canon in the timeline era. We're leveraging this Obi-Wan Kenobi series that's coming out, and we'll get a lot more folks into live action. And live action is the way to go. And it says here that our good friend Dave Filoni is leading it. RJ, excitement is six until he sees a trailer. So there you go, RJ. Good stuff. On a scale 1 to 10, 1, meh. It's no news. I don't really care about the Inquisitors. Never heard of them. Don't know who they are. To 10 being, this is the show I've been waiting for. What do you think? Are you a 1? Are you a 10? Or maybe you're a 6 with RJ. What's your level of excitement for getting this in? And there's our friend Coop. Coop!
Hey, what's going on? Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I got you on. What's your excitement level to see the Inquisitors coming to live action?
Oh man, I'm super excited. This is like unexpected, but it's like one of those things where you weren't kind of anticipating this to happen, but once it's announced, you're like, okay, that's got potential.
Yes,
that's got potential. That could be exciting.
Indeed, it does. And I think some of it is you could have predicted, but this is that the Obi-Wan series might have Inquisitors. Like, what is going to be the problem? Just Luke falling in a well. Like, here comes Lassie. Hey, Luke's falling in a well. Go get him. It's got to be something more than that, right? So,
yeah, I was thinking about that too, because I think it goes back to something that Lars said about Kenobi in episode 4, or no, Obi-Wan said about Lars, and like apparently they fell out at some point. So I think early on in his exile, Obi-Wan was probably doing more heroic Jedi type things that Lars wasn't interested in, and hopefully that's what the series is about.
Yeah. And I could see the Inquisitors going to Tatooine and Obi-Wan needing to hide both himself and Luke, or distract them, maybe lead them away. there's going to be that problem of the Inquisitors finding Luke. Right? If the Inquisitors find Luke and they detect that he's Force sensitive, then we've got a whole problem on our hands. The question it raises to me, and this is one of my complaints about Lucas putting Anakin on Tatooine in the prequels, is Inquisitors show up, they find a Force sensitive whose name is Skywalker.
You're right.
Not the best place to hide. So yeah, thank goodness Filoni's leading it. So that's another discussion that we had the other day, is Filoni leading this series. Filoni leading, let's say the Grand Inquisitors live action show, the spinoff from Kenobi. Filoni leading the Ahsoka series, writing and leading the Ahsoka series. Filoni being involved with the Book of Boba Fett. Filoni being involved with the Mandalorian season 3, right? How much is Filoni writing and involved in the Bad Batch, right? There's only so much of the dude to go around.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to what we talked about. Was it Friday in the Discord? Like he's got to. His involvement can't be at the same level it was for Clone Wars and for Rebels. I think even in that Steve Stanton interview on Dairy's channel, he talked about how like Filoni is like around, but he's not as involved as he was on the other projects. Yeah. And I think he's primarily there to kind of get the flesh out the idea of the story, like where's the start point and where are we ending and what happens along the way, but like all the intimate details he's got to be letting the rest of the team work out, because he doesn't have enough bandwidth. There's not enough of him to go and do all of that and be as involved as he was on Clone Wars and Rebels on all of these series. Like that's just impossible.
Agreed. Well, completely agreed. And I picked up on that line in Star Wars News Network's broadcast they did the other day, or live stream they did the other day. They said the likelihood that Filoni will actually be writing and directing, leading another animated project in the future gets smaller every day.
Yeah, right? Yeah, for sure.
And Abby said, we're all living in Filoni's world. You know what? If it's Star Wars and it's on Disney Plus, then you are into Filoni's world, I think, for sure. And give credit to Josh Lucas for holding on to the Filoni-verse. Yeah. But the Filoni-verse might be a little too broad when you're talking Grand Inquisitors. When you're talking, that's between before the original trilogy and 10 years after the original trilogy and other things that are coming along. So, yeah.
I mean, it raises a lot of interesting questions, especially like in terms of what year, like officially was the Inquisitorium established, because we know it was abolished right after the events of Rebels. That right. Basically abolished the Inquisitor program. The Empire did, but we don't really know when it was established. I don't think we've got a canon established date for the Inquisitors.
Well, it started when they were hunting down Jedi.
Yeah.
So that happens fairly soon, because we know Vader has already run his course through the Jedi Temple. We know that he's. And in fact, he did that before he donned the suit, right? Yeah. He did that as Anakin Vader instead of Vader Anakin. But so when he did that, that's before the end of the Clone Wars season 7. When he shows up in that last episode, he's already in suit. And if the Bad Batch is happening right after that, or in concert with that, that means that the Inquisitor program is should be starting soon. Like I think you're right. I don't know that we have an exact date.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it has to be within this Bad Batch time, like somewhere between whenever. What year does Andor start? Really, is that like because like Andor, Bad Batch, Kenobi, all of these shows are within the same time period, but how close are they to each other is another question. And like the Inquisitor program has to be something that we may or may not see established in the Bad Batch show.
And so,
We know,
credit to Spencer Evelyn for being the first one, first one to bring it up.
bring in Windu, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, any series, the Bad Batch included, says we're going to get Mace Windu. You know, so Spencer, you get the point. It would be a good place to bring Mace Windu in. They're hunting down Force sensitives.
yeah.
You know, they're going to run into things. So, sure.
Well, also, I mean, it's a matter too of like we know the Jedi survivors of Order 66. It's like 1% of the entire order. But at what point in the timeline of the Empire does that 1% start to become a problem, like enough for the Emperor to go? We need a dedicated task force to hunt down these Jedi, like because I can't imagine all of them like just go into hiding immediately. I think there's got to be those that form some sort of resistance to the Imperial rule early in the Empire timeline. Well, at least that's a theory of mine. I think that would be something cool to see with the Inquisitor program or this show that's
Yeah.
rumored.
Yeah, and Spencer says the beginnings are somewhat shown in Soul's Vader comic run. So we have been putting some of the comics in our Discord. So if you haven't been able to read them or you're behind, you kind of get caught up. And so we'll work to get those into the Discord as well, so that all of us can kind of get caught up on it and get more information as it goes forward. Ben Kenobi, 10,000 Jedi, still 100. Which is a small army. Yeah, so there absolutely could be a lot. There could be a lot.
Yeah.
And as Mark put earlier, instead of a monster villain crisis of the week, whatever, it could be the hunt of the Jedi of the week, right?
Yeah, really. You remember those? You remember those like wanted posters of all the
Yeah.
Jedi in hiding? That could be something cool, like within the Inquisitor show.
You could. You could start off each one with wanted, so and so, and just a little bit of a synopsis of who they are. Last seen on wherever.
Yeah, and speaking of, I do remember now because Vader did fight the Grand Inquisitor in the Jedi Temple when they were trying to stop Jocasta Nu from stealing or retaking the holocron with all the Force sensitives. Because apparently there's multiple copies of that holocron. Because there's the one that Cal finds on what's Bogano, and then there's the one that was still in the temple. So maybe there's more than one copy of this list. This
Yeah,
holocron. Who knows?
yeah. We could get a live action Quinlan Voss.
That would be sick. I would definitely like to see him be like the lead. Him and Mace Windu teaming up.
Oh, man.
That's like an unstoppable. Like, how would you stop that? But that would be really cool to see.
It would be. It would be. I think this is great news for Star Wars fans. A lot of folks say we would like to get into new territory. So, like the High Republic era is unexplored territory, or sometime after the sequels would be unexplored territory. This is highly explored territory.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
We're talking.
It is.
It shows up in the Vader comic runs and appears in some of this other stuff. Hey, what's Coop's channel? You go ahead.
Certified Gumbo on YouTube. Can I drop a link in the chat? Or
I don't know if it'll let you or not, but you can shoot it to me,
Okay, yeah, let me send it to you.
and I should be able to put it in there. So yeah, certified gumbo, and Coop talks about Star Wars and other topics. You're not Star Wars only. You talk Star Wars a couple
No.
times a week, I think, right? Like,
Yes, yes. Well, try to, depending on what's going on. But I do cover the Bad Batch and any like other show that's running the day of. Like so, whenever it releases on Disney Plus, I'll cover it. So, Bad Batch episode 8, I'll be reviewing at 8 p.m. on Friday, and then sometimes I will do a Star Wars Sunday show, depending on like how heavy the news circuit is, and speculate on that. Or if there's just some topic I want to talk about regarding Star Wars, I'll do a live stream for it.
perfect. And Abby, thank you so much. She's on it.
Perfect.
You know,
Thank you.
Abby is
I
right
was slow,
on it.
slow on the jump there, but thank you.
Appreciate it. That's great. Look, so just again, for anybody who may be coming in late, these folks at that hashtag show, they have the exclusive, and they're saying that there's a live action Inquisitors show being developed, and that it's already been kind of part of their exclusive is that they're going to show up. We're going to get one or two in the Obi-Wan series, which is already filming, right? We've been getting Obi-Wan leaks on a regular, people walking between sets, and we think that that's absolutely it. Ashton, the source is reliable, isn't it? Well, that hashtag show, I don't, just to be completely honest, I don't know their reliability.
They're decent. They're not. They don't have a perfect track record, but I don't think anyone does. But they have done. I think they've got a decent win percentage, or what do we call it? A scoop percentage, win percentage.
Yeah. I think they're running ahead of KRT at the moment.
Yes. Yeah.
Matt's Lego Films. Do you think this is what Josh was talking about? I do, Matt, because Monday night on Nerd Theory, Josh was saying it's not his scoop to give, and that it involved Dave Filoni doing some dark side project, and that it was going to be released about 1 o'clock Wednesday, Eastern. So here it is now, 2 p.m. Eastern.
That's definitely got to be it then.
Right. It's got all the markings on it to be what Josh was talking about. So I do think this is it, and we were able to get this out here as soon as. And again, huge thanks to Abby. She is Johnny on the spot, just right there, shooting us the info.
So
go ahead.
Speaking of, since we got on the topic of Windu, I had a theory that I posted, I think I want to say in the Den's Discord. But it was regarding Mace and, oh gosh, I'm blanking on her name. What's redhead, Luke Skywalker's girlfriend from the...
Mara Jade.
Mara Jade. Gosh, why did I blank on her name? Jeez,
I know.
I'm looking like I'm sure. Yeah, she's... So I had a theory that they could make her canon by if they brought Mace Windu back and made her his apprentice, which would create some level of animosity between her and Luke later down the road. Because remember, we talked about like George wanting to bring Maul back to have an apprentice, Darth Talon, in his treatment for the sequel trilogy. It would be cool to see like Ace take Mara Jade as an apprentice, and then when he is killed, she takes his lightsaber crystal, and that's how she gets her purple lightsaber crystal. And like to see that happen in like a show like this, that would be really cool.
It really could work. And Mark's giving me a hard time because I always forget everything.
I'm like, yo, I've never blanked on her name before. That is crazy.
It happens to me all the time. There's a lot of opportunity here. And as I said, this is well-tread ground. It's well-tread with people who are reading comics, which is probably one of the smaller populations of fans. Mm-hmm. A good comic book sales run might be 100,000 copies, but that's a fraction of who might be able to watch something animated. And
Right.
animated is going to be only a smaller set of those who will watch live action, and that's a smaller set of those who have seen the movies. So here's a really good. Do you think Santa will ever make an appearance in Star Wars? Space Topsoil I already have. there's some old Legends comics where Santa is in Star Wars. So there you go.
Yeah, he does. And in the on Life Day on Star Wars, the Old Republic, the online game, the
Yeah,
MMO, like during Life Day, they have a Santa Claus pop up on each of the space stations for the Republic and for the Empire. So that's,
very nice.
yes, year round thing since at least 2011.
That's fantastic. That's
Can
fantastic.
confirm, Mr. and Mrs. Claus both appear on space
There you
stations.
go. Coop in with it hot. Yeah, so this is well tread, but here's a good chance to familiarize fans with content that they've not seen before. And a lot of people talked about how Legends material is being piped into canon. Uh, as we talk, Mark says recanonize Santa. Right? So we'll be recanonizing a lot of Legends material potentially, right?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
Chillmonger, 100,000 sales, super high for a comic, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
40,000 anymore, right? So there's a lot more people watching this stuff. So you could take some of that Vader comic stuff that's not been seen by a majority of fans and reintroduce Legends now into canon and bring some of that stuff in. And I think that's good for the fans as a whole, right?
Yeah, yeah. I had to look that up, but I was looking at the numbers for Fallen Order, and it sold 10 million copies. So yeah, that is pretty. 100,000, not a lot. I don't look at those numbers too often, so I needed to get a gauge, a scale on, because I know Fallen Order is super popular. That's wow. I didn't know it sold 10 million copies, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of the comics anymore, like even main DC runs and Marvel runs are in the six-figure range. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So that's super exciting. I know that we get them in the Kenobi series, we get them in their own series. Do you think that so the other possibilities? We've kind of touched on it, the Bad Batch. And just to share this, I saw this earlier. I don't know if you've even seen this yet, Coop, but let me bring in. I've got a graphic here. Oh, Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason has revealed some potential episode titles for upcoming Bad Batch shows. So here we go. So Jordan Mason tweeted this out.
Oh wow.
Bad Batch episodes for July. It says PR included Bad Batch episodes for July. Common Ground, Devil's Deal,
Hmm.
Rescue on Ryloth. And so this is episode 10, 11, 12. 13, Infested. And 14, War Mantle. There's 16 episodes total, so we don't have 9 or 15 and 16. But do you think any of these give you a bit of a light that maybe they would have Inquisitors?
War Mantle. I don't know what Project War Mantle is entirely, but it could encompass a lot of different aspects of the Imperial military, or it could be just one super project. But that is something they talked about in Rogue One, or at least the name was mentioned as Cassian was running through the names of the various projects on that station. But I mean, War Mantle. One, my initial thought was that it's probably the Dark Trooper or the Death Trooper project program.
Oh, yeah, that makes
But it
sense.
could, but you could also it could also encompass funding for the Inquisitor program, Inquisitorium, and the Dark Trooper or Death Trooper, and any other um, special ops project program that they want to begin funding.
Yeah, and so some of those titles. Let me leave them up here. It says, do we have titles for 8 and 9? No, we don't. We don't have titles for those. And then this rescue on Ryloth, as Mark said, it very well could be Omega being rescued after being kidnapped by Fennec.
Yeah.
The trailer, the predictions, we've been doing predictions in my channel, and it's been a lot of fun to do. But with those predictions, there's some unused trailer footage that still has us on where we left off,
Mm-hmm.
right? And shows them on these destroyed Venators, right? So I think this next episode is going to pick up there, and Braca. That's it, Braca. Thanks, Mark. So we see them on there, and we see Fennec in the hallway of one of those. So very well could be that Fennec gets hold of Omega in this episode, in this coming one, is your mid-season show, and then the second half of the season is them chasing after to rescue her.
Yeah.
And this episode 12 could very well be going to go get her after she's been kidnapped.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Braca's script, Ahsoka crashes, Clone Wars season 7 removed. Then I don't think is the ship which Ahsoka crashes in Clone Wars season 7. So I think, Sven, you're asking if they've taken that crash ship to Braca, that maybe that's where they're going to find it. I don't know. I don't
think so either. I don't think any of the crashed Venators or like destroyed Venators from the war or before were recovered. I know for one, there's one that's in Fallen Order. There's a crash Venator on Zepho that the Empire, they're not going to recover it. I think what Braca is them. They're retiring the ships and they're taking them to Braca to be disassembled, dismantled.
Yeah, and so I don't know that they would do that. But Jimmy coming in with some info. War Mantle was mentioned in episode 3.
It was. Tarkin mentioned it. He's right.
Oh,
Tarkin does name drop it. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe War Mantle is the Death Trooper program, because that's where, what was it? Episode 1 where we saw Crosshair in the black stormtrooper armor.
Yes.
So I think that's a good solid case. But it could encompass, like I said, multiple spec ops programs.
Yeah, and Matt, didn't I say that we would go to Raxus next, or there's someone else? We were speculating Rex before Raxus or Raxus before Rex, and I was voting for Rex before Raxus this last week. We got that right. So Raxus was considered next, but going back and rewatching the trailer footage, we're not done. We're not done on Braca. So Raxus will probably be episode 9. 8 will probably be picking up on Braca, and then they'll go. And Mark's saying the Fennec shot could be Braca or Raxus. Hard to tell. So that would be 8 and 9, and then that would set us up for episode 10 being Common Ground.
Well, something too about these title descriptions. We've been speculating a lot about whether or not Ahsoka would up here in this season of Bad Batch, and by these titles, I couldn't predict if she would pop up in them. Like I think, we may not see her till season 2.
True. So XR Coon, what's up? I'm late. XR Coon. So that hashtag show dropped an exclusive that they're working on a live action Inquisitors show, it's in development, and that we're actually going to get them as early as the Kenobi show, that they're going to be included in it. And now what we're doing is speculating, okay, if they're going to be in the Kenobi show, and if they're going to be in their own live action show that's going to be a spinoff from the Kenobi show, might they show up in the Bad Batch? So we kind of got on a sidetrack here about talking about the Bad Batch, but I don't know that I see anything that points towards Inquisitors in season 1 of the Bad Batch. I just don't. Looking at those titles, and that's what we were doing just now. We were looking at these leaked titles that were in some PR material, and there's none of these just scream out to me Inquisitor. I don't know. It's something to look forward to in a second half of the season trailer, for sure. Keep your eyes peeled for an Inquisitor. So,
well, even with the second, the mid-season trailer, do you think they would even tease the Inquisitors?
I don't know.
Do you think they would try to keep that a secret? Because I mean that's a nice surprise. Like I'd expect, if they're going to do something like that, then there's an even bigger surprise than the Inquisitors in the show, especially in the second half of the season.
Could be. So there's some chance. So let me ask you this: bigger chance we see Inquisitors in Bad Batch, or we see Cal Kestis in Bad Batch?
Inquisitors, I would say. Even though, yes, the one of the writers for Fallen Order is a writer for the show, I don't see Cal appearing in this. Not in this first season. I wouldn't write it out of him appearing in the Bad Batch at some point. But I think the Inquisitors are a better bet at this point, because one, Cal is way too young during this time period. When we see him in Fallen Order, it's 5 years after Order 66, and all indications of the game, he has not been active at all, or used his lightsaber, done anything Jedi-like, prior to the start of the game. So he's been pretty low key for a couple years now. So if he does, it would be like a cameo type of appearance where, like, he's not going to do anything major on screen, but you see a glimpse or a flash of someone that could or could not be Cal. But I think the Inquisitors are a better bet at this point.
Yeah. And I tend to lean a little bit with Spencer. Probably a low chance of either.
Yeah.
There's a chance. There's a chance, and Coop kind of broke this in our Discord live stage last week, where that writer from Fallen Order is a writer in the Bad Batch, and so it makes it possible. We're on the right planet. We're in the right time, but he'd be really young, like Caleb. Right? We saw Caleb in that episode 1.
Yeah. Oh, and I did look this up too. They're only 2 years apart, age-wise.
Oh,
Caleb is 14 at the time of Order 66, and Cal is 12.
Oh.
So yeah, like they're super. Like I didn't realize that they were that close in age. But yeah, that's a cool tidbit.
That is really cool. And you guys, you need to be following Certified Gumbo on YouTube, Coop's YouTube channel. Abby put it in the chat before. Go check out Coop's Certified Gumbo and give him some support. And really done some great homework here. And it happened, a lot of it happened during our Discord live stage discussion last week. But got to give you credit for looking that up, finding it, and then getting into it even more. So with the age difference here. So hey,
thank you.
Gray's in here. Hello there, Gray. Star Wars Real Talk. I agree with Coop. We see Cal. He'll have a minor similar. Yeah, like Caleb, right? I think it'll be a short little cameo, and it'll just be. Gone. So
yeah.
For that reason, I say there's a slightly better chance of seeing Caleb than an Inquisitor, but it's possible, right? Possible. What did I think of the Visions news earlier? Did you see that, Coop?
I did see that, man. That actually has me very excited.
I would love to see more. And it's coming in July. So July we'll get our first
Yep.
look at some Vision stuff. So
July 3rd.
other
Yes.
possible sightings of the Inquisitors. They're going to be in Kenobi. They're going to be in their own show, in live action. What other? I think you mentioned the Andor.
Andor, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I think anything within this time period, there's a possibility for the Inquisitors to appear. I mean, it's especially like, um, given the fact that yes, there are at least 100, maybe more, maybe less Jedi around during this time period. The Rebel Alliance and the various cells that are forming around the galaxy, the partisans, probably being the main group in the beginning. Um, there's opportunity for Jedi to rally to that cause, and it would, be calls for Inquisitors to appear and to, respond on those planets or wherever the Jedi are appearing. So if they're helping different cells, like I don't know, man. I think the Andor series is going to be a lot more interesting than I think a lot of people are anticipating. Especially the budget that they seem to have gotten for this show. Like, did you remember the sizzle reel with all of the props and the just live action stage and um, things that they were doing for the show? Like, it looked like a movie set.
yeah,
Like they're
yeah.
going all out for that show. So I think that show is going to have a lot more in it than people are anticipating.
I think so too. I think it could. Spencer says I posted an idea in Discord about the Visions thing. Is that the streaming it in Discord, Spencer? Is that the idea? That could absolutely work if we can get a ticket to the Anime Expo. That's when it's supposed to the Vision thing's supposed to show up in the Anime Expo, and if we have somebody who's a participant, we might be able to stream part of it in Discord. So we'll check that out.
Yeah.
So again, I just want to touch base on this news story. That's what we came in. It's live breaking news, and then let folks get back to their day. The folks at that hashtag show have had this exclusive, and just go back through their article here. It says Dave Filoni is now a huge proponent of Inquisitors, and they'll be making their first appearance here in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. But then they said they could exclusively share it, set up their own Disney Plus live action series coming after that, which is tremendous. And then it's in early development continuation from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So it's a spin-off of the Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is a limited series. Let's remind folks, like that Obi-Wan Kenobi series was a movie that they rewrote into a series. It's a limited series. It's not like multi-seasons. It's a single one and done. And then after that, then we get this Inquisitors Show, and then it says there will be appearances by the ones that we see in the Obi-Wan series, Jedi Fallen Order. So we talked about Fallen Order a little bit here, but the Inquisitors that are in that game are expected to show up, as well as Rebels. So the Grand Inquisitor should be there, right?
Yeah, so that means the Grand Inquisitor, Trilla, the what is it? Is she the second sister? Well, I mean, yeah, second sister was also in Rebels. Like, yeah, all
Yeah.
the ones that we've seen thus far on screen have a possibility, and I mean, I would like to see Trilla again. I think because they could get the actress who did the mocap for her to come back and reprise her role as that character. That's an easy pickup.
And then there's this bit here. It'll also introduce a new sister who reluctantly falls in line with the Inquisitors, although she sees the damage and destruction they cause. And then she has second thoughts. And so, who could the one who falls in line but then has second thoughts be? And of course, everybody thinks of Barriss Offee.
Yeah, I think that's like the gut reaction, right? Like that's the one that makes the most sense initially, but I don't think it's Barriss.
I don't either.
I don't think it's Barriss.
I agree.
I think that this is a brand new character we hadn't seen before. I think she's whoever this is someone that will be almost like Finn in the sequel trilogy.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And then like they have that moment, and she's the one that maybe can be swayed.
Right.
Ooh, maybe it's Mara Jade.
Put him back to Mara Jade.
Hey,
there you go. My part, cool. And I know we're laughing about it, but it's absolutely
it's not outside of the realm of possibility. Like, we know Dave and his love for Legends and just for Star Wars as a whole, and his he likes bringing back characters from the EU. So I mean, especially if he can work it in, especially a fan favorite like that, and rework the story.
It sets her up during the original trilogy era. They need to explain where she is. It sets her up. That would be huge, right? Give us Mara. Let's go.
Yeah.
It absolutely could. And then, Mark, what if it's Omega? Oh, no.
Ooh, that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
No.
I can't see that. I don't mean she's not force sensitive. Like, that's the hill I'll die on until they prove otherwise. I don't think Omega's force sensitive.
Awesome. I'm with you, Coop. I'm with
Yeah, she's not.
Or you're with me one day away.
Says, we're on the same hill.
We are. And he says, I've seen described the inclusion of Luminara and Unduli, which gives us even more of perhaps seeing. I just said her name. Yeah, I said her name like 5 seconds.
We both had a moment.
Yeah. So Barriss, I think it does. If we see Luminara, we very well could see Barriss.
But that would also explain too why Luminara was captured.
Yeah,
she died in captivity.
And she died in captivity. Sure. And well, it really.
I think they're trying to make us like Luminara. Because I fell out of love with Luminara like during Clone Wars, because I'm this lady right here is just terrible.
Me too. With Luminara and Mace Windu, and Clone Wars doesn't do either one of them any favors from likability. Oh my goodness!
Oh.
And then Vader himself said that Hayden Christensen had a positive experience on the Kenobi set. And so we could expect to see him show up in this live action thing as well. So I think that's all just super, super exciting. Kiadi is the worst. Is Kiadi the worst?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not if we're basing it off of.
I mean, Luminara. Here you've got your Padawan, trapped in a cave. Oh well, why just go get another one?
Yeah, like wow, just instantly. Like I understand. Yeah, that whole. Anyways.
She was terrible.
And then the thing with the Martez sisters, that story that they told, and then they're like, everybody knew that was Luminara. They're like the green skinned Jedi.
Right. Good luck, kid. We're out.
Yeah.
Luminara, what a tool. Just not a fan of Luminara. But yeah, pious. Pious is a good word to use towards her. Unfeeling, uncaring.
Yeah,
just plain.
Just like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then of course all the stuff with Mace just being a jerk. But yeah, Mark, it's not easy being green. So who's your least favorite Jedi?
Oh
Least
man.
favorite? Green Lives Matter. You guys are killing.
um, Least favorite. I don't know. I guess. I mean, I guess Luminara. I mean, I'd be completely.
I'm just like she's what's on my head. You asked me in the middle of the conversation, so I've
Yeah,
got my.
about her.
Is it
Right.
Luminara or is it Mace? Um, I would say Luminara would be my least favorite. That's on my head. Maybe somebody could give me another one that would be up there. But yeah, Luminara has to be up there. But we could get her. You could make her more likable, redeem her character a little bit. I mean, look what they did for. Oh, this will get me in trouble. You guys can get me in trouble. Look what they did for Boba Fett. Right? He's a chump. He's
Oh my goodness
he's a
gracious.
nobody. But Palm Krell. There you go, Krell.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yes, that's the one. That's the
He
one.
is.
I
He
forgot
is.
about him. But they yeah, he met his proper end. He got
Yes.
what he deserved.
You got what you had coming. Yeah. So Kiadi, so XR Coon's making it. Kiadi didn't care about his wives and kids dying. The will of the Force moved on. Get a new Padawan when Ahsoka left. Yeah, that's well true. True. But we could get some appearances of Hayden Christensen as Vader. Look, it's a great time for Star Wars. A great time to be a Star Wars fan. Look at the content we're getting on Disney Plus. Whoa,
Absolutely.
they're killing it. Dave is killing it, and of course the whole team over there. Um,
Oh, speaking of Disney Plus, did you see that the news that they're moving all of their show premieres to Wednesdays
to
now, moving
Wednesdays,
forward?
right? Moving forward, the live action series, all the Disney Plus originals, Disney
Yes,
Plus
Disney Plus
originals
originals.
are supposed to go to Wednesday night releases. Um, I did see that news earlier today. I'm not so sure that Wednesday makes sense. I get what the performance of Loki is got him. That's the iron that's hot, but I don't know.
Yeah, I said the same thing, and someone in my Discord said that they probably moved it to Wednesday not only because of the success that Loki has had, but they also want people to be free on the weekend to go to the theaters. So
Uh,
like, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. The theater play because they do want people to go to premieres because premieres happen Thursday night to what Sunday basically like that opening weekend for the theaters. Like if they can have those nights open for people to go to the theaters, then
yeah,
that's a logical move.
why not Sunday evenings? Abby brings up a really good point. Why don't they change the time? It used to be when we were kids that every Sunday evening there was a like a movie that was on, and it was a family movie. I think it was on ABC. Um, why not do something like that? Like Sunday evening, then you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, catching it, or even if they kept that time, that midnight, 3 a.m., whatever, wherever you live, time. If they did it Sunday night, then you start the week off Monday, and boom, there you go. Coop's Discord, there we go.
Oh wow!
Oh, thank you, Mark. Thanks for putting
Thank
that in.
you, thank you.
Thank you so much. And then, yeah, Matt's Lego film. Eastern Standard Time, people matter.
I know
Uh,
right? That is my one gripe with the streaming services releasing everything on like at like 3 o'clock in the morning because one because I have to cover this stuff like I have to watch it as early as possible.
right.
Otherwise, I have to avoid social media completely because I'm gonna get spoiled. And if I need to I wouldn't mind an earlier start time either. Like
Yeah,
even if they just said, you know, just do it 12 midnight on the like Eastern Standard Time. I don't mind personally the West Coast seeing it at 9 p.m. on their time. Like that doesn't bother
right.
me at all. Like I let me see it at a reasonable time in the morning.
Yeah, and then it's like
So
5 a.m. for the UK.
Right.
So, I get that, but my goodness, that's a killer. And you think about like Loki. Okay, so I saw somebody ask earlier what I think of Loki. I haven't seen it yet. Right, it's tough. I've got a day job, and I've got to work 8 a.m. Eastern. So 3 a.m. release on Wednesday morning to then go to work at 8 a.m. is just crazy.
Yeah.
I can't
Exactly.
do it. I can't do it. So I mean, even if it was on a Sunday, it'd make Monday suck, right?
Right.
but
Right.
but it would at least help. The Friday worked for me. Even like when we were back in the Mandalorian, I could get up at 3, and Friday would be a really rough day, but I could do it. But there's no way on a
But
Wednesday.
it's Friday. Like people aren't like expecting a lot out of you on the workday on a Friday. Like if you come in like kind of like I'm ready for the weekend, you know, like it's a little different. Friday's a different day than like a middle of the week Wednesday where it's you're in the heat of it.
Yeah. And Sven, I see you saying Europe release time. There's several time zones across there, but generally when I think of like UK is about 5 hours. Normally, is 5 hours ahead of Eastern. So if it's noon Eastern, it's 5 p.m. UK. That's what I keep in my head, and I know that it goes after that. But my goodness, it's tough. And yeah, 3 a.m.'s tough. Not in college anymore. Neither am I, Ducky. Santa's been out of college for a little bit. Uh, to make the elf take a shift. That's true. That's true. And Gray, I'm very busy. I can't watch anything. The sun is only around my state for a limited time. Yeah, Gray's out. I think Colorado, right? I think so.
Oh wow.
Australia. Yeah, Australia is kind of they're off from us quite a bit. I think 12 hours. They're right in that ballpark. But anyhow, this is if they start doing these on Wednesdays at 3 a.m. Eastern, it makes it tough. It makes it tough for us, as you were talking, to cover it as a channel, a YouTube channel that kind of covers some of the content. It's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like the full time YouTubers don't mind it. Like they do this full time anyway, so like they can do their live stream 3 o'clock in the morning or like real early in the morning, and then have the rest of the day to rest and recuperate for their next stream. But like it's definitely tough for the part timers.
Yeah.